All right, guys, punctuation on this one. Okay, so we start off with these three types of sentences that you need to be familiar with, which is the simple sentence, the compound sentence, and the complex sentence. So I think most people are usually pretty familiar with the simple sentence at this level, which is just one simple clause and something like, I like pizza. Okay, simple sentence, just one clause, no problem. Okay. Um, as far as the difference between compound sentence and complex sentence, sometimes people get thrown off on that one, right? So for the compound sentence, we have two or more independent clauses, where with a complex sentence, it's one independent and one dependent clause. All right, so what would that look like? So for a, a compound sentence, we could get, he doesn't like to get his teeth cleaned, but he knows that it's necessary. Okay, so there we have two independent clauses. Both of them can stand on their own and don't need help from the other clause. Okay, where with a complex sentence, one independent, one dependent clause. Go back to our pizza. The pizza, though very hot, was still quite good. Okay, and so in that one, though very hot would be the dependent clause. And so that's kind of the differences in these three types of sentences. So most likely it's stuff that you've seen before, but maybe it's been a while. And just refamiliarizing yourself with the differences in those three types of sentences. Okay, got a little bit more to go here. Okay, so with possessive and plural nouns, so this can show up as well. So let's we'll do an example here with a focus on the word church. My church's congregation makes it one of the best churches in the metro area. Okay, now, where's my pen? Sure, blue's good. So with the word church, so one point here, apostrophe, here, we did church and then added the ES, right? And so the question is, why did we do it? It is written correctly, right? But why is it that that's the rule, right? So you want to be able to know that, because different forms of this type of question will show up, right? We're just looking at possessive and plural nouns. Okay, so the reason is that my church's congregation, right? This phrase right here, kind of go over what we circled already. My church's congregation, little arrow, that is possessive, right? Because it's mine, right? That's how I'm phrasing it. And so when anything is possessive like that, then it needs to be singular. And so then we just do the apostrophe S, right? But when it says the best churches in the metro area, that makes it plural. And when it's plural, then we just add the ES, not the apostrophe. Okay, so that's really the difference there between plural and possessive nouns. Okay, and let's go back to text mode. And our only other question is about semicolon. Okay, so these examples are really the best way to go. So let me write in one more here. She missed 7 questions on the test. Maybe a little space. 5 of them were geometry questions. Okay, so why can I put that semicolon there, right? And so your reasoning is you want to have two, when for any semicolon, you want to have two independent clauses. And so she missed 7 questions on the test is an independent clause, and 5 of them were geometry questions is also an independent clause. And so because you have two independents, you can put a semicolon there. As far as other options, right, is there, if there's a comma in the word and, that would be completely acceptable, right? That's a good way to do it. And the period, as long as we have two independent clauses, right? Then she missed 7 questions on the test, period. 5 of them were geometry questions, also acceptable. So there's some of our rules on punctuation.